Hello, everyone, and welcome to NYSLRS Retirement Online Webinar. Our agenda for today has been created to answer questions on legacy reporting. In order to make sure we are covering as many questions as we can on the different aspects of legacy reporting in Retirement Online, we have broken out certain topics regarding legacy reporting. We'll be covering certification process and training, file preparation, go-live readiness, and of course, we'll have closing remarks. We will start by answering questions about the certification process and any training, and then we will cover the questions regarding file preparation. As a note, we have many people on the call, and we will be working diligently to answer as many of your questions as we can. We will also be recording all of your questions and who they have been submitted by. If we do not get to your questions, we will be following up with you either individually or as part of a broader future communication event. We will be offering webinars like these on many different retirement online topics. Let's begin. Our first topic is certification process and training. We are now accepting questions. We've received our first question. How will we be able to remember what we have to do in Retirement Online if we take the training months ahead of time?
Hi, this is Sherry Lindgren. I am with the employer reporting area. And once you've gotten Silver certified, you're going to be able to continue to practice in the training environment to help go through that self-paced training at any point in time if you want to just brush up on your skills. And we'll have additional opportunities to also prepare you. And you can always reach out to the Retirement Online Help Desk for assistance at any point in time.
Our second question, I am new to my position as a bookkeeper for retirement reporting as of January 2018. I feel as if I am caught between the two systems. I don't understand the old system well enough to appreciate the changes in the new system. Can you explain the difference in the two systems from the employer's point of view?
This is Beth Wicks. I am the Assistant Director responsible for employer reporting. The currently monthly reporting process is spread out over multiple applications and doesn't provide real-time feedback to our employers concerning errors a report may contain. You are getting a pass or fail validation email within an hour of submitting the report, but the new system will allow you to submit monthly reports and adjustment in Retirement Online while also giving immediate notification of certain errors. We understand that new joiners or new employees to our employers may be caught in the middle of learning the two systems at once. We know there's been some turnover recently, but we have hands-on training available to walk you through the process in Retirement Online, step-by-step of submitting a file, and we'll continue to provide ways for employers to prepare for next May. And you've just been provided the Retirement Online Help Desk number. If you have any additional questions, they'd be happy to help you out with that.
All right, our next question. We have employees that have more than one job. For example, bookkeeper, parks department, budget officer, and deputy town clerk. How will this be done in the new system?
This is Sherry from Employer Reporting again. There will be a future webinar that will cover questions related to how to handle multiple jobs in our enhanced gold certification area. While you're submitting in the legacy report, you're still going to continue to roll those all up into one salary to report to us.
Our next question is about certification. How do we know what step in the certification process we are?
Hi, this is Rebecca Fisher. I am a transition coach. So there's a few tools available for you to know where you are in the process. If you go to the Employer Learn More page, there is everything laid out for you for the Getting Bronze Certified in Retirement Online. And within that document, you can click on the link that will bring you to the listing to show where you are or if you are finished. And the same is for the Silver certification.
Great. Rebecca, along those lines, next question, if we were Silver certified this last year, will we need to recertify?
No, you will not need to recertify, but we do recommend that you access the training environment when you can, in order just to keep fresh and up to date on the Retirement Online process. If you have any questions on how to do that, you would just contact our Retirement Online help desk.
Can more than one person in a district be Silver certified? If so, how do we do that?
Absolutely. This is Sherry from Employer Reporting, but you can have as many people on staff be certified as you would like to have. They just need to sign up for the classes and go through the courses to get that certification.
Will there be any more in-person training sessions or seminars prior to next May?
Hi, I'm Andrea Goldberger. I'm the Deputy Comptroller for the retirement system. We are currently holding our in-person training sessions, and we strongly encourage our employer representatives to attend these sessions and become Silver certified before the beginning of December. The reason for that is because this will give you your first look at the new system and help you understand how your legacy report will be filed in May. We will be holding additional refresher training between January and our May go live for reporting. And in addition to that refresher training, at any point you can review the self-paced training courses, and you can also avail yourself of practicing in the training environment.
All right, our next question is, can we report through the legacy program now?
This is Beth. So the file format that you're using right now is what we refer to as legacy. So you would continue to report through using RIR and RAR. Your file format does not change. And in the spring of next year, you'll get an invitation to begin using Retirement Online. But until then, nothing has changed with your reporting.
How can we verify what we need to finish in the certification process? And is there someone that can talk to us about our specific location?
Hi, this is Rebecca Fisher again. So, yes, if you just call the Retirement Online Help Desk, our number is 844-619-9614. We can outline what is left in any of your certifications. You can also go to the Learn More page if you know what you've completed. It'll show you what is left to accomplish. As far as speaking to you about your specific location, absolutely. Again, you can just contact the Retirement Online Help Desk, and you could ask for a transition coach if you needed some more specific information.
All right, our next question. Will you be sending us a link to where we can log in and practice? It has been a while since we've done this, and we don't recall where to go.
Again, this is Sherry. I would say your best bet is to call the help desk if you're looking to have that link sent back to you again. They'll be glad to provide you with that.
Our next question is, will we get written documentation for how to provide legacy reporting through Retirement Online?
Hi, Rebecca again. So yes, whenever you attend a file upload session, we actually provide a manual that provides step-by-step instructions to walk you through the process. If you've already attended the file upload session and maybe have misplaced it or just want a new one, you feel free to reach out to our Retirement Online help desk and we can forward that to you again. But yes, there are materials available and you can get it.
All right, I think our next question was answered, but we'll make sure that we're clear. If you have received silver certification last year, is certification required again for 2019? And again, can we have a manual ahead of time for the new process? So who wants to take part one? Recertification.
So this is Rebecca again. There is not a requirement to recertify for 2019. However, we are providing you tools that if you wish to go back and practice within the training environment, you may. And to get that link, it's really the same link that you used for the file upload session, but you can just reach out to the Retirement Online help desk. I can give that number again. We'll probably give it many times throughout today's session, 844-619-9614. And what was the other part of that question?
Is the materials, will there be training materials?
So yes, and we do have training materials that we can provide to you. So we do have step-by-step instruction manual that is we're able to send to you if you don't have it.
Hi, this is Lori Papa. I'm the project director for the Retirement Online redesign project. And I just wanted to add to Rebecca's answer. There's a question that can we provide those materials ahead of time? So I think I'm going to ask our team to take a note to see if we want to put that participant guide out on the Employer Learn More site so people can snag a copy at their leisure. Of course, you can call the help desk and ask for that as well. I would also encourage you to go to that Learn More page because many of the materials that you've been asking questions about, the questions are answered in those materials. For instance, we have a checklist that you can keep track of what you needed to accomplish for certification and whether or not you've accomplished it. There are a lot of resources in there that I think you'll find useful. We put new information out there all the time, and in fact, we're getting ready to revamp that page to be even more clear. So again, I can't suggest enough to visit that Learn More page if you have questions. That's a great one-stop shopping place. And if that isn't clear enough, please call our help desk. They'll be happy to help you.
Our next question, how will I know if my payroll vendor has been contacted by the retirement system and is working on the new reporting format? Lori?
Hi, this is Lori again. We have made a concerted effort to gather all of your information about what payroll vendors you use to prepare your current files. And we have actually had separate webinars with those payroll vendors to begin the conversation about how to prepare the new file format. We will work with payroll vendors at their pace. Obviously, it require them making changes in their system, and they will work with you in a coordinated way when they are ready and they have that capability. One thing I'll add to that is that from a payroll vendor perspective, we are, and I'm looking around the room to find out if it's out there. It was supposed to go soon. If not, it's out there. Okay, great. Going soon, we're going to be putting out a new contact type, which is called our reporting technology contact type. And the purpose of this contact type, and we'll also send an email telling you it's there and asking you to complete it. But that contact type should be the best person that you would suggest we contact about your file. If that person happens to be sitting in your office, list that person's name. If it happens to be a payroll vendor, list that person's name. This does not grant that person access to Retirement Online, but it will give us a definitive best point of contact so we understand who prepares your file so we can work with them when the time is right. So we're going to really be promoting that. We need to make sure we have everybody's payroll vendor or individuals so we know who to reach out to.
Okay, our next question. I am the main contact. I've done all certification to date, but my backup person has not. Will this keep us from doing what we need in order to be compliant when we are in the new stage of reporting for 2019? Is it the organization or the individual who is certified?
This is Sherry from reporting. At this point, as long as you're silver certified, you're free to start reporting in the spring when we ask you to in that new system. It would be wise to have your coworker also certified in the event that you're off from work or on vacation. We'd need them to actually be able to submit your report still. So that would be the best thing to have done. As long as somebody's there to cover it that knows the system, you should be okay. Technically, it's the location that is silver certified, but we'd like to see everybody get the training so that nobody's missing getting that report in if you're out.
This is Andrea again. I would like to just add to what Sherry has shared with you. We do know that you experience a fair amount of turnover, and it's very important that you go into Retirement Online whenever you have a change in any of the contact types that are listed in Retirement Online and make those updates. Additionally, your security administrator will need to go in and assign the security access role for those who will be performing work in Retirement Online with NYSLRS. In terms of the certification training for the individuals and participation in the training, they will be invited to in-person or to training opportunities as long as they are noted within Retirement Online as one of those contacts who is responsible for employer reporting or member enrollment. So it's really critical that you keep that information updated, especially when you have changes.
This is Anna. I'd like to add to what Andrea just told us. What employers on the webinar should be aware of is that if you are receiving an email from us regarding certification or certification activities or training regarding certification, these emails are specific to you as an employer. These are not big emails to large groups of employers. We are speaking to you directly, and it's based on the status of your certification. You might be missing something for certification. We might not have a record of you attending a specific activity or doing or participating in a specific webinar. So if you do get an email from us, please open it, please read it, and it has been written specifically for your employer. The next question about the next question is regarding file format. Can we post a sample file so I can see what the file should look like? Beth?
So the employer guide is available online on the employer page, and the layout is there for you. And again, that will not change at all when you go to submit your report through Retirement Online.
Yeah, so one thing, this is Lori again, I wanted to just add to what Beth stated. The report format that you need for silver certification is exactly the same report format that you send today. So we haven't altered any of the fields on that format. So what you produce today is what you'll need to produce and submit in Retirement Online beginning in May of 2019. There are a few differences in that file which are included when you sign up for your file upload session. We tell you exactly what needs to happen. There are no file format changes. However, any blank rows or headers or footers need to be removed from that file, so it just needs to be the rows of data. That's essentially the only change to that form. It's not a format change, we got to delete a few rows if they have extraneous rows if they happen to be in there. No totals, that's what's typically in a footer, and no column headers, that's typically what's in a header. We just want rows of data, but there are no format changes to that file. That file format is described in detail in our employer guide, which is on the employer section of the retirement website.
All right, our next question. I know that several people have had trouble signing on to Retirement Online. I didn't, but in preparation for today's webinar, I tried to sign on and was not able to. Is the website having issues?
Hi, this is Rebecca again. The website is not having issues, but what sometimes happens with logons, specifically with file upload sessions, is the training environment requires a little more nuance than Retirement Online. So sometimes if you're signing into one and not the other, you will need to contact the Retirement Online help desk for assistance kind of getting reset. Any issues that you encountered with Retirement Online sign-in, whether it be the training environment or the live environment, you'll just need to reach out to our Retirement Online help desk, and we posted a number, and I'm sure we'll post it again. But no, there are no issues. But again, there is a little nuance that goes along with the Retirement Online training environment that we'll help you with.
I just want to add, this is Anna, I want to add to what Rebecca just told us, and that's that remember, if you contact the help desk with any issues accessing Retirement Online, you are contacting that number specifically as an employer. If you are wearing your member hat and you are online on Retirement Online as a member of NYSLRS, then we ask you to continue to contact the Customer Contact Center, and that has not changed. So our next question is, what is legacy reporting?
This is Beth. Again, I think we're using maybe legacy to mean two different things too. So legacy is our current, people refer to as our current system, but we're calling the current reporting file format legacy reporting. And then when you switch to a new file format, which we'll discuss a little later in this webinar, that will be called enhanced reporting. So
The next question then is, in May, will we be using legacy or enhanced reporting?
So you'll be submitting the legacy file format in Retirement Online.
Right. And this is Lori. I'll add to that, just to be clear. The legacy file format is that same format that's described in the employer guide today. It's what you submit today through RIR or RAR if it's adjustments. That same file format, minus your headers and footers and totals and blank lines, can be submitted into Retirement Online beginning in May of 2019. So the file itself doesn't necessarily change. It's the legacy format being submitted to a different place.
Our next question is, what is the deadline for silver certification?
So this is Andrea speaking again. We would like to have all employers silver certified by the beginning of December. The reason for that is we have over 3,000 employers who need to be certified, and that involves oftentimes more than one person at each site. So it is a lot of people that we are getting through certification and training. The sooner we are able to provide that training to you, the better you will understand what is expected in May, and it will give you more time to practice and take our refresher training should you feel you need that. So again, we strongly encourage you to respond to those personalized emails that we are sending to you and register for your training. That way we can help you with any issues you may encounter early on and ensure that you're very comfortable reporting in the new system come next May.
Okay, our next question. I have completed the self-paced training for reporting. Will I be contacted to create and submit a legacy format report?
Hi, this is Sherry. You should be contacted very soon if you haven't been already. We want to get you silver certified, and in order to get you silver certified, we will need you to submit a legacy file format. That will be part of your certification for Silver Cert, is that you actually sign in and do a file upload, a practice file.
Again, this is Andrea. You will receive your invitation for training via email. So when you see a NYSLRS email, please don't assume it's one you've received before. It may actually be one of your training invites. So open it up, give it a look, and sign up for your session.
All right. Next question. How do we go about changing personnel duties on the website, such as contact administrator, billing personnel, security administrator, specifically when someone leaves, quits, or retires?
Hi, this is Patty Schachter from Employer Services, and there's two separate processes here. For a contact or a security admin, you'd need to contact the employer access mailbox to let us know that the person is leaving the job, and then we'll send you additional forms to enroll a new contact and security administrator, one or the other. In the case of any other roles, billing, personnel, payroll, or any of the other roles that are out there, or types, contact types, you would need to have the contact admin remove the person now in coordination with the security admin to remove any security roles the person may have, and then the contact admin can sign on a new contact type, and then the security admin would sign on the security roles that would be used for that person.
Thank you, Patty. We're moving on to the topic of file preparation, and we are now accepting your questions regarding file preparation. If we do a practice report upload, what date should we be using to prevent errors? Rebecca?
Hi, Rebecca again. So when you sign up for your file upload session, you will receive an email with specific instructions on what the requirements are for your file. But May, June, July, or August will work within the training environment at this time.
All right, our next question on the topic. Is the member number the same as a NYSLRS ID number? If not, when will we begin to see these numbers for employees? I see there is a field for this on some documents. Please give a brief explanation for NYSLRS ID and member registration number. Lorraine?
Hi, this is Lori again. So, yep, you're right. We are moving to a new member ID number as part of our system upgrade. We currently identify all of our members in the retirement system using a registration number. This has been the same for decades. We will continue to accept that registration number. We will continue to issue new registration numbers for the purpose of, as long as you're using that legacy file format, which is the one you use today and the one that you can use next spring, beginning in Retirement Online. That's the number that you will keep in your system and you will use to report on the file format. That will not change as long as you're on legacy. What you will see is that beginning in May, when we enroll new members, we will begin to also share with you a second number. You'll get both, a registration number and the NYSLRS ID. The NYSLRS ID is simply a unique number. It does not translate into telling you what tier a person is in or what system they're in. It is simply a nine-character long number. It starts with an R, so you'll be able to identify that. And it does appear on our correspondence. We're beginning to add that to all the correspondences that we send out. But that number will become important as an identifier when you begin to move to enhanced reporting, which we are not really getting into in today's webinar, but that number will become important at that point in time. And we will have to share those numbers with you so you can update your system records at that point. But today's about silver certification and making sure that we can submit with our legacy file. It's a good question. If you're thinking ahead, yes, it will be a number that will become important.
Thank you, Lori. Our next question, if we go live in May and have issues with submission of our report, will NYSLRS extend the date that the report is due? In addition, how much support can we expect from NYSLRS?
This is Beth again. So yes, the report is due by the 7th of the following month. So we are, for all intents and purposes, extending the date. But we do need to have you get it in by the 31st at the very latest. We would like you to get it in as soon as possible because that gives the best benefit to our members to get their data updated as soon as possible. As far as the support, there is a terrific team with the help desk and all the people in outreach and change management and employer services with the transition coaches that are going to be working together to provide you all of the support that you need to get your file in and processed as timely as possible.
All right. Our next question, is it possible that errors communicated the last time we uploaded a test file weren't actually true errors? I ask because we researched the points and there were no errors on our end.
This is Sherry. We are aware that there are some conversion errors in our system at this time while we're working on bringing the data from the old system into our new system. We have some things that we are addressing that we know need to be checked into, and we are actively working on that. So if you saw errors that you weren't able to understand, don't worry too much about them right now. We have a team that's working hard on getting those all squared away before we go live in the spring.
Can legacy files use just last 4 digits of social security numbers?
Again, this is Sherry, and yes, indeed, we can use just the last 4 digits of a social. So you can simply put all, the last 4 and have zeros as placeholders or ones, I believe, as placeholders.
Oh, instead of the X's? Sure.
Or X's,
Yeah.
right. To take the place of the first 5 numbers in that social security number if you simply want to use the last 4.
Okay, so along those lines, are we able to mask the social security numbers on the legacy format?
When fully be able to mask those numbers, you would just be able to put something else in place of those first 5 numbers. So we still need the last 4 showing, and something has to take the place in that field. We still need that field to be full of data. So whether you're using X's or zeros, that will take the place and still let it read properly.
In preparing the new file format, for the legacy report. Do we need our payroll vendors' help?
This is Lori again. You will not need your payroll vendor's help to be able to silver certify and submit your legacy file. This is the file that you have today that you submitted today. And I guess I should qualify that. If you need your vendor's help today with that file, I guess you would still need their help. But we expect to fully engage with the vendors when it's time to use the new file format, the enhanced file format. But that's a conversation for another day around gold certification.
Our next question is, do we add all full-time and part-time employees to the legacy report even if they are not contributing?
This is Beth. You only continue to report members who have pensionable earnings or days and their contributions or payments, and they have a with their registration number. So that does not change from what you're doing today, will not change as long as you're doing legacy reporting in the future.
This is Lori again. Again, that question tells me that someone's been looking ahead to what's coming in enhanced reporting. And yes, we are moving eventually towards away from legacy reporting, which includes only registered members, to enhanced reporting, which would have you reporting a larger population, which could include people who are not members but could be potential members. Again, that does not impact what you're going to need to submit for your for April or May of 2019. Legacy files only include what they include today, which are just your registered members. So if they have a registration number, include them.
Another question on the enhanced format. Will the enhanced be Mac friendly through Safari or Firefox? Lori?
This question really pertains to Retirement Online in general. Our new Retirement Online website is just that. It's a website, and so we are building it to be compatible with Internet Explorer and with Chrome. Those are the two platforms that we will be using and that we will be supporting.
Our next question regarding NYSLRS ID is two-part. First is NYSLRS currently using the NYSLRS ID number on registrations? And if so, can we have access to those NYSLRS ID numbers in bulk?
Okay, this is Lori again. That's a great question. We are actually issuing those NYSLRS ID numbers today in our system, in our internal systems. They are not part of your business process yet, so we are not sharing them yet. However, they could be reflected on any written correspondence that we send out. We're keeping a dual set. We're keeping both right now. Before you move to the enhanced file format, yes, we will need to share those new ID numbers with you, and we do anticipate doing that in some form of a bulk fashion.
All right, the next question is about reporting in the legacy format. And the question is will I need to use an Excel spreadsheet and hand fill in all of the information when reporting through Retirement Online?
Hi, this is Rebecca again. So sometimes when you are submitting in our training environment, there are errors on your file that need to be addressed, and sometimes the easiest and best way to address those errors are by converting the file via the Excel file document. So it really just depends what is wrong with the file. For me to answer whether or not you'd have to hand key it in, you shouldn't have to. It should be the same file, minus headers, footers, and totals.
Okay. Our next question is about data. How about retired employees who are currently working? Do we still take them out of the report?
This is Lori again. Retirees, if someone is retired from a public retirement system in New York State, they really can't be enrolled members. So again, on your legacy report, if a person has a registration number, if they're an active member, enrolled member of ERS or PFRS, they should be included. If you have individuals in your work site who are retirees of a public retirement system, they should not be enrolled members. So they should not be being reported.
And Lori, does that extend to the practice file for file upload sessions as well?
Absolutely. The rule of thumb is whoever you report today, that's who should be on your trial file.
All right, follow-up question to that, Lori. What about retired members that are still working? Are we still reporting them once a year on the post-retirement report?
Yes, that's a great question. Yes, that's an annual report. I believe that filing is calendar year. I'm not positive, calendar year. Yes, thank you, Paul. I knew you'd come in handy today. Thank you. So yes, that reporting requirement still applies to report post-retirement income. If you've been looking ahead, the idea is that when we get to the enhanced reporting and you start reporting those retirees and they're not, while they won't be members, you'll report their income, that will do away with that annual requirement. But for the time being, keep doing what you're doing, keep them off of the legacy file, and you still have to complete that annual filing about post-retirement earnings.
Very good. We do have a pre-submitted question I'd like to get to. How do we determine what to correct when a report is not accepted?
It's a question in regards to retirement online, I believe what we're talking about here. So when you click on error details within retirement online, which this is something you will practice during file upload session, it outlines whatever errors there are. So sometimes it could be just a simple math error, but if it's a format error, those come up as well. And what you do is take those format errors, you go back to your file and you just adjust your file accordingly, and then you just re-upload it. But how you know is just by clicking on error details, it'll give you the specifics.
And to add on to that, Rebecca, the next question is, are we going to get a full list of all the steps from beginning to end of retirement reporting on the new system?
So just to say what we discussed a little bit earlier, we have a step-by-step guide if you are in our file upload sessions, but we're looking to get that posted on the retirement learn more page as well. So there will be a step-by-step guide.
All right, we have a question about registration numbers again. And will the delay in retirement registration numbers be fixed by 2019 so our reports do not kick out if there is no contributions attached to an employee?
One thing you should not be reporting a member, this is Beth, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be reporting somebody that you don't have a registration number for. We have heard from some employers that they're waiting to submit their report until they get a registration number, and other people are putting information on there that their subsequent employer case has not yet been processed. So you shouldn't wait, and you should only include the people that you have confirmation for Tier 6 members that you have gotten their subsequent employer case that's been completed.
Hi, this is Allison Ryan from the registration unit. If you are having an issue with obtaining a new registration number for a new employee, you can contact Alicia Sullivan at 518-473-8017, and she'll be able to help you out with that. We are currently working on registrations received on September 27th, so we appreciate your patience in obtaining that information.
Thank you.
This is Lori again. One thing I want to add is that, yes, today our internal staff handle those registrations, and they do a admirable job of trying to keep up with the numbers. Our economy is booming, the hirings are in full force. One piece of news that in talking about how this will change is that beginning with the launch of the new functionality in the spring, that employers will have the ability to self-enroll. So you will be able to do those enrollments and get those registration numbers through self-service. On your dashboard, if someone has the personnel security role, they'll be able to go to the Enroll a Member page, and we have training for that, to be able to complete that registration on the spot. You'll complete the registration, and at the end of the process, you'll get a little pop-up window which will tell you the person's registration number. It'll also tell you their NYSLRS ID if you're curious, but most importantly, we'll also tell you their date of membership and their contribution rate. And contribution rates are also going to be available on a separate page within the employer dashboard. If you miss that pop-up window and you just need to go look it up. So you will have the ability to, rather than just mailing in or faxing in the registration form like you do today, you'll have the ability to be able to do that enrollment on the spot at your convenience and get that information so that you can get people enrolled immediately.
All right, our next question is about our current reporting, which is RAR. Can Social Security numbers be altered now?
Hi, this is Sherry, and currently, no. You cannot change the Social Security numbers at this time. We do want to still see a social at this point. And in that new system, when you do make those changes, note that right now in the training environment, that's not possible either. The training environment hasn't been updated with the ability to accept the last 4 digits alone. So for the time being, continue to do what you're doing and note that those changes will come in the spring.
All right, our next couple of questions are regarding our new NYSLRS ID. Will the new ID numbers replace registration numbers, or will they be interchangeable? And finally, if we are to receive the IDs in bulk, will we be able to import? Lori?
Okay, that's a bunch of questions. So, the new NYSLRS numbers, first off, why are we creating them? We are moving away from a 35-year-old system, and the new information system that we have simply has a different way of recording individual memberships. It also is a great way for us to collect information about our members across employers. So that's sort of a inside shop talk. But bottom line is we have these new numbers. And when we say that will they replace the numbers, eventually they will replace them. We do intend to carry both sets of numbers for as long as we need to. And the answer to how long that will be as long as someone needs them for legacy reporting, we will continue to issue them. They become important when you start using the enhanced file format. So that will be part of the conversation when we transition you to enhanced, is you will move away from reporting with registration numbers, and instead, the new file format does not even contain registration number. It only contains the NYSLRS ID. So that's when that transition will need to happen. And yes, we will do the file exchange in such a way that you'll be able to import that. We know that people don't, especially large employers, don't want to be hand typing in all those numbers into their system. So we will be sending a file of some sort. We'll get to that when we talk about our transition to enhanced. Did I get all the questions, Anna?
You did.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take the next 2 questions. What numbers should I call to find out more about the post-retirement annual earnings report?
The new phone number for the REAP information, 518-474-5606. That's the post-retirement earnings unit.
Okay, and I think this last question is regarding our current reporting process. I have adjustments to do now. Do I still do them by paper?
This is Sherry. Indeed, by all means, you can do your adjustments by paper at this time. We would hope that everybody will transition to doing electronic adjustments when the new system comes out. But for the time being, we are still processing those paper adjustment forms.
Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
This is Anna Winans again. I want to, again, thank you all for your questions. We have received many, many questions. As I stated earlier, we are recording your questions, just as a reminder. If you do not hear your question being answered, please rest assured that we will follow up with you either one-on-one or make it a topic of our future webinar. One last question regarding file preparation. Can you speak more about the new member registration process? Since the fax process, it takes about a month before I get a confirmation back. So I do not report them until I get this information. In the past, it was immediate. You got the member info on the same day.
This is Alicia Sullivan from the registration unit. So currently we're experiencing a higher volume of people being registered into our system. So there is definitely a delay in the processing. You are seeing that month delay. When we go live in May, when you guys are able to log into the Retirement Online and register these members through that enrollment dashboard, it will be instantaneous. So as soon as you add their personal information and then their job information, a window will pop up and provide you all the reporting information right there. If it's an optional person, you'll have to upload the form. There will be a separate webinar for the enrollment process. So I don't want to go into too much detail, but it will be instantaneous. It will be immediate.
Thank you. Our next question, if an employee is retired and continues to work, I was taught they should not be reported on my monthly transaction, but I just heard something else. Please explain.
This is Sherry. You will not report that person on your monthly reports at this time. And in the new system, you won't do it in the legacy. Again, what you might be hearing or might be reading is if you're skipping ahead to the enhanced version, there is a reporting of the retirees in the enhanced version. But for the time being, and in the legacy that's coming in the spring, you will not. But there's also one other little thing, is a post-retirement earnings report that school districts do. Nobody else actually does that, but the school districts have a report that they do send in a listing of their retired employees once a year in the end of the school year. So if you heard that by chance and you're not working at a school district, disregard that. It doesn't apply to you at this time.
When will enhanced reporting begin? Lori.
Hi, this is Lori again. So we're pretty excited about enhanced reporting too, so I'm glad to hear that people are interested. The enhanced reporting, we're beginning to work together to form a pilot group to for those folks who are willing and able to tackle it quickly. Not everyone is in a position to do so, but we are to help those who may not. Maybe their service provider isn't ready or their IT shop might not be ready. But if you're interested in learning about enhanced reporting, we are going to be putting a lot more information out about the file format. I think there's a lot to digest there. And that enhanced reporting can't start until after we launch Retirement Online next spring. At that point, we'll be ramping up our efforts and we'll be interested in all takers. And we'll be gearing ourselves up to be ready to help you transition to that enhanced file format. So stay tuned. We'll be putting a lot more information out about the enhanced reporting, including the file format, what you should send, what additional data you need to store in your system, who you include on the report. It's a whole bunch to consume. Our focus right now is making sure that everyone can continue to report your enrolled members, which is who's on your legacy file today. We want to make sure you can still do that next year. So that's number one. That's the most important. We need to have that employer reported data in order for us to be able to properly process our members' accounts, should they file for retirement or for loans. So that's our number one priority. Moving to the enhanced reporting is close behind, but it does come after being able to be successful with silver certification and legacy reporting. Stay tuned on that Employer Learn More page. We will be giving it a facelift and including a strong emphasis on what we call enhanced reporting, which we'll get to through the Gold certification program.
All right, our next question is regarding member enrollment. Do we still need to submit a paper application if we submit members online?
This is Alicia Sullivan from registration. If you're enrolling a mandatory person through the online application, you do not need to upload or submit a paper application separately. If you're enrolling an optional member through the Retirement Online, you'll actually be given a pop-up box where you'll do the upload of that application. If at any time you're enrolling someone through Retirement Online, you will not submit something by fax or mail to us on the back end.
Our next question, is it right to wait to report a new employee until we get their registration number and accurate contribution rate? Alicia?
This is, oh, well, that works. Yes, you have to wait. The reason why is because of the contribution rate that you're reporting based on is incorrect. It will be an issue for the member, and also adjustments will be needed.
So along those lines, if someone is already an ERS member and a new hire to our district, is there a process we need to follow to affiliate them with our district, or just include them in the monthly report?
We would need to add your location to their account, so you would have to fill out another RS 5420, which is that registration application. Because it's subsequent employment, a signature is not needed, so you can just provide that one page without the signature if you want.
Alicia, could you speak to how that process will work next year?
We would still have to add the job. So you could actually go through the online capability and then add that job. So once you add their personal information, you'll get a pop-up box through our feature, and it will say this person's already a member here. And this is a separate location, so if you want to add new information, you can, and then you would add the job information, and it will provide you with the reporting information for your location.
So that one page, the Enroll a Member page, will be able to handle enrolling brand new members as well as adding this new job to the history of someone who's already on.
Yes.
Good.
Approximately when will enhanced reporting be mandatory? It sounds like it's optional. Lori?
Sure, be happy to answer that. Enhanced reporting is going to be, is the future of Retirement Online. We envision that it will solve a lot of problems that we currently have and that employers have expressed to us in terms of timing delays and the pain of having to go back and get old information should someone want to purchase old service, or even when it comes time for someone to retire and you have to go back and get old data out so that we can complete a benefit calculation. So enhanced reporting is definitely our future. However, we are cognizant that with over 3,000 employers, many file formats and many service providers, it's going to take us a little bit of time to get everyone over to enhanced reporting. So in recognition of that, we're going to, as I said, start with a small pilot group of individuals who have reached out to us to indicate that they are willing and able to tackle this early. Once we go live in the spring, we will be ramping up the efforts to begin a process to transition everyone to enhanced reporting. We are anticipating, we're hoping that that process can be completed within approximately 2 years. That's our goal. So plan now, talk to your leadership, your organization, give them a heads up, let your IT shops know, let your service providers know that you're interested. We need to get this work started, but we also know that we can't just hoist it upon you with no notice. And again, that's why continuing to be able to submit your legacy file into Retirement Online is going to be, it's essentially a stopgap until you can get to enhanced reporting.
This is Andrea. Thank you, Lori. I'd like to just add why going to enhanced reporting is going to be so important for our employers. And we will have a separate webinar on this to really do a deeper dive and talk about enhanced reporting and the benefits to employers and our members. But just to give you a quick example, we were just talking about the current registration process, and it is essentially a paper-driven process. When we introduce Retirement Online in May, you will have the option of using the Enroll a Member page, which will lessen some of the pain of that paper process and get the information you need to do your reporting more quickly. But even better than that, once you move to enhanced reporting, you will be able to, with the expanded data that you'll be providing on that report to the system, we will be able to automatically enroll mandatory members. And that streamlines that process even more. So the important thing to keep in mind is that moving to Retirement Online in May gives us and our employers some great benefits using your legacy reporting, but the real benefit isn't fully realized until we move everyone to enhanced. And that's the benefit to employers, the benefit to your employees, our members, and the benefits to the work that our staff does along with you. So keep an open mind about enhanced reporting and be sure to attend a future webinar to learn more about it.
Okay, our next question. We still maintain paper personnel files. When using Retirement Online to enroll a member, will I be able to print information to add to their paper personnel file?
Yes, you will.
Our next question is about our practice sessions. Should we keep loading practice files to the training site in order to verify that we have solved any name issues with our current file?
Hi, this is Rebecca again. So you're, of course, welcome to continue working within the training environment. However, if you encounter some of those strange errors, which Sherry spoke about earlier, where we ask you to remove a line or do some specific things, those errors won't go away. However, if you have formatting errors or some things that you need to adjust in the file, absolutely yes. Go ahead and address those and upload that file as many times as you need to. If you have any questions based on that, you can just contact and reach out to our Retirement Online Help Desk, and we've got it posted right there for you. And we'll walk you through on anything that you might need to do, give you some guidance.
Thanks, Rebecca. And this is Lori again. Again, I agree with everything Rebecca said. I think that, as Sherry mentioned before, and Rebecca just reminded us, that we do have some errors in our current training environment, which we call conversion errors. And that just means that those folks didn't make it over. And we've been working diligently to try to clean those up. And I'm pleased to report that we've greatly minimized the number of those conversion errors. We continue to improve that process, and we will be eventually refreshing that training environment probably in the January timeframe, so that the refresher training that you take later on this year, you definitely should see improved results if you had a large number of people who are impacted by that. So those errors that you can't fix, we've been busy working on, and we hope to see those go away. If you do have other errors on your file and you want to continue to practice, because we do understand the pages that you'll see are different than what you currently use in RAR, please feel free to practice until you're comfortable. And that's really what getting ready for Go Live is all about, is making sure that you're comfortable and will know what to do in May when we ask you to submit your April file.
Okay, our next question is, where can I find important retirement online information leading up to Go Live? All right, this is Anna. Our Employer Learn More page is where employers can go to find the latest resources and updates concerning retirement online. There you will find much information on everything regarding retirement online, including, as we said, a list of our certified employers, manuals and training information that you can download and view when in the system, additional information regarding training opportunities, and also the ability to contact us directly from the Learn More page. We have covered, the website also covers all of the topics that we've discussed today. And if you cannot find the information that you're looking for there, you are to reach out to our help desk, who is prepared to answer any questions you have regarding retirement online. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and on behalf of NYSLRS, I want to thank you for your questions. Just a reminder that we have recorded every single one, so we will get back to those of you who we did not address today. That will be one-on-one or as part of our follow-up webinars.